Days of Our Lives spoilers update for the week of August 25th to 29 reveals that Marlena Evans will face an alarming ambush while Chanel Dupree Dimera and Johnny Dimera's romantic night gets derailed. First, let's talk about Ariana Ari Horton, since she'll put Gabi Hernandez through a grilling session. Ari may have some questions about her mom's love life, but Gabi will surely have a tough time answering them. Gabi may be more willing to be honest with Javi Hernandez when he quizzes her next. However, Gabi will have a tough time knowing where Xander Kyriakis and Philip Kyriakis' heads are at following her flirty moves. Despite landing in bed with Gabi, Philip will seem more interested in reconnecting with Belle Black in the coming episodes. Gabi will have some work to do if she wants to put Philip's attention back on her, but it seems she'll pull it off with a desktop hookup eventually. Days spoilers say Gabi will still be after takedown dirt, but she may struggle with some messy feelings in the midst of all this. Over with Leo Stark, he'll be skeptical of Kristen Dimera's confession when he opens up to Chad Dimera about the trial. Chad will struggle to believe Kristen's guilt as well, so his digging could present a problem for both Kristen and EJ Dimera. Rachel Black is the one who pulled the trigger, so we'll see if Chad can eventually put together some clues and figure that out. Now that Stephanie Johnson has agreed to do some PR for Titan, Days spoilers say she'll have a strategy session with Xander. Alex Kyriakis will also end up in a situation where he feels the need to offer Sarah an apology. Since Alex will sense that Sarah still loves Xander and wishes things were different, he may push Xander toward a reunion later. Other duel spoilers say Susan Banks will ambush Marlena with updates on some disturbing news. Since Susan will feel like the trouble in Marlena's mind, body, and soul is getting worse, she'll try to intervene somehow. As for Johnny and Chanel, they'll take time to recharge as a couple after all the trial chaos. This will be Johnny and Chanel's chance to ramp up the romance, but things will get derailed due to a surprise interruption. Meanwhile, Days spoilers say Brady Black won't be able to shake the feeling that Sophia Choi is lying. Sophia tried to cover after her baby gender slip-up, but Brady sensed that Sarah was hiding something too. Brady will fear there are even more secrets, so he'll fill Steve Johnson in on the situation and get some private investigator help. That'll pave the way for Brady to score some disturbing info about Sophia and all her deception. Brady won't figure out the whole Tesoro truth yet, but he'll definitely put Sophia in a tight spot with all his investigating. Sophia will also manage to get on Holly Jonas's bad side in the week ahead. Holly will pick up on Sophia's desire to steal Tate back for herself, so she'll make it clear that it's not happening. Gwen von Lochner will also find new ways to make Leo miserable in the coming episodes, while Kat Green turns to EJ for employment. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the week of August 25th through to 29 will bring some highs and lows, so stay tuned. Kat literally bumps into Gwen at the hospital while carrying a full "I'm leaving my job" packing box. Gwen, having just given blood, sips a juice box. Kat recognizes her as Dimitri's wife, and Gwen recognizes her as the person who impersonated Abigail. Kat goes into apology mode, but there's no need. If there's anyone Gwen detests more in this world than her husband, it's her late sister. Sensing they're a lot alike, Gwen suggests they get lunch someday soon and gets her number. Rafe comes to the Hernandez kitchen as Javi makes their abuelita's menudo blanco. As Rafe salivates over it, Leo returns home, free from sequestered jury duty. As the boyfriends reunite, Rafe heads off to work. In the square with Tesoro, Leo reveals to his inquiring boyfriend that the jury found Johnny not guilty. "You don't say," Gwen purrs upon walking up. The former friends bicker, leading Gwen to warn Javi that Leo will screw him over just like he did her. Leo used to wish he could take back what he did to her, but all his mistakes led him to Javi and Tesoro. He's the happiest he's ever been. Gwen mocks his happiness and strolls away. Leo and Javi go home for a proper reunion in their bedroom, but Leo is distracted by the trial. There's something off about Kristen's confession. However, he's easily re-distracted by his attentive and shirtless boyfriend. Kat comes to Rafe's office as he congratulates Johnny over the phone. When he hangs up, Kat informs him she's out of a job since Marlena is taking time off. Since she won't be working there, she won't be able to dig for dirt on EJ's purchase of the hospital. However, she may have a new way in, Gwen. Rafe warns that Chad and Gwen have history, and none of it is good. After Kat leaves, Rafe assures Sammy, over a one-sided phone call, that Johnny is home safe with his wife, where he belongs. Rafe reminds her she's talking to a federal agent, so he'd prefer she not threaten Kristen's life. Besides, he has a feeling that if the justice system doesn't deal with Kristen, EJ will. Chad rushes into the Dimera mansion, having heard from his reporters that Kristen shot EJ, but he doesn't think it makes any sense. As a sullen EJ defends their sister, Chad questions his calm demeanor. All EJ cares about is that Johnny is free. That may be true, Chad says, but now Kristen will be separated from her child. When he brings up EJ trying to pin the murder on his daughter-in-law, EJ changes the conversation to Chad's love life, specifically Kat Green. Chad insists they are just friends, as Gwen strolls in, overhearing yet another conversation. She just met Kat today, and Chad could do a lot worse than that, babe. They engage in a childish, go away, no you go away back and forth until Chad leaves. Alone with EJ, Gwen tells him the jury was going to find Johnny not guilty. When Gwen leaves for a nap, EJ deeply sighs. I'm sorry, Kristen. What's done is done. Kat and Chad run into each other outside Sweet Bits. He reports that Julie was surprisingly zen about him staying at Kat's place while he was sick. Upon recovering from her shock, Kat recalls how out of it she was while feverish. You would tell me if I did something embarrassing, right? Chad recalls her kissing him. You have nothing to feel bad about, he says with a grin. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of August 25th, 2025. It shows Brady Black asking Steve Johnson to investigate Sophia Choi. Chad Dimera interrogates EJ Dimera. Plus, Gabi Hernandez feels torn. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Fans know that Gabi is supposed to get intel about Titan for Tony Dimera. The brunette tried to get intel from Xander Cook Kyriakis and shared a kiss before Sarah Horton Kyriakis showed up. Then, she gets into bed with Philip Kyriakis. Javi Hernandez tries to get intel from Gabi. However, she coolly says she has no idea where she stands with either man. There is also a scene of Philip opening up his eyes and seeming surprised to find Gabi in bed next to him. Speaking of Philip, he reconnects with Belle. They will catch up and Belle will open up about EJ. Philip will tell his former flame that she deserves way better than EJ. Then, they decide to spend their day off together. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of August 25th reveal that Kristen Dimera has to face Brady Black. Will she open up about the truth with Brady? Meanwhile, EJ debates with Chad. It seems that Chad doesn't buy Kristen's confession. He tries to grill EJ, but doesn't get any answers. Then, when discussing the case with Leo Stark, the reporter says that the whole thing seems a tad too convenient. As for Brady, he will turn to Steve for help. Brady tells Steve all about Sophia's baby claim. Grandpa Black wants answers and knows Sophia is hiding something from them. Meanwhile, Susan Banks warns Marlena Evans that whatever is inside her has gotten worse. Holly Jonas warns Sophia that she's not getting her paws on Tate Black again. However, we know from a sizzling summer promo that Sophia seemingly undresses Holly and takes pictures of her. So, this rivalry is going to get really bad. Also, Gwen Risek von Leuschner threatens Leo. Specifically, she threatens to rip Javi away from Leo. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of August 25th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Sophia Choi had a major slip of the tongue when talking about her baby in front of Brady Black. Brady just cannot let go of Sophia calling that baby a boy. Brady also asked Sarah Horton about her looks of shock when he told her the baby was a girl. Will Brady figure this out? Sarah has gone to Sophia and asked her to be honest more than once. However, Sophia is convinced that Tate Black will never forgive her. Sarah has tried to get Sophia to look at how things are going so far. If Sophia were to be honest, she could allow Tate to connect with his child and tell the truth. Now that Tate has decided to give up on seeing his child, he has decided to leave well enough alone. Tate sees how upset that Sophia is getting over this, and he wants to hurt Sophia anymore. However, that does not mean that Brady is about to let this go. Brady wanted to meet his grandchild as well. Will Sophia finally come clean? Brady is not about to let this slip-up go. He knows that something isn't right about this visit, and he is going to back down until he gets answers. Sarah cannot tell Brady the truth because of confidentiality issues. However, Sarah feels really bad about not being able to help. Could Sarah possibly leave a message open and accidentally allow Brady to see it? Will Brady simply confront Sophia and demand the truth out of her? Brady wants his son to know the truth, and he knows Sophia is not being honest. Will Brady figure out that the baby was not only a boy, but he is right there in Salem? Will Tate learn that he has already bonded with his son even though he didn't know it? Sophia's elaborate hoax is going to blow up, and chances are it will be from Brady pushing this issue with the baby. Unfortunately, Tate is not likely to forgive Sophia for this betrayal when she has known all along that she lied to him. Will Tate manage to spend more time with his child now that he may learn where the baby is? Could Johnny DiMera and Chanel DiMera end up adopting the baby after all? What will happen to Sophia when she finds herself all alone? Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, August 26th, unearth yet another family secret, as now it's Gabi's turn to face a grilling from her daughter. Salem's last bombshell was Johnny learning that EJ raped Sammy, which is how she got pregnant with Johnny. That led to Johnny being put on trial for EJ's attempted murder. EJ has quite a few skeletons in his closet, but Gabi's isn't much cleaner. Ari has been living out of town with Will and Sunny for most of her childhood, so she missed a lot of family gossip. Looks like it's time to ask her mom a few prying questions. When Abe first popped up in Salem, he was a cop. He then became the top cop, and then the mayor, and then a soap opera producer. We're honestly not sure what he's doing now, but it's obviously not enough to keep him busy or interested, because Abe has taken another gig. Now all he has to do is break the news to Paulina. Stephanie's new gig is doing public relations for the Kyriakis family. Stephanie once dated Philip. Now she's dating Alex. The only Kyriakis she hasn't dated is Xander, and he's the one who wants to discuss how she plans to earn her keep. Professionally speaking, while that's going on, Stephanie's gal pal, Jada, has some questions for Stephanie's boyfriend. Professionally speaking, since Jada is a cop, that can't be good for Alex. Alex and Justin both dismissed his long-ago arrest as just a wacky college prank. But are they covering up something worse? Well, EJ's done it again on Days of Our Lives. He's managed to alienate the one person in Salem that actually cared about him, Belle. His intentions were in the right place when he was determined to exonerate Johnny, who was accused of shooting EJ. But he trampled over everyone in Salem, and in the process, publicly trashed Belle when he forced Johnny to publicly reveal that she and EJ were in a relationship. Ultimately, she dumped him for it, and Martha Madison opened up about whether or not this was truly the end of EJ and Belle. Madison talked with Soaps.com and explained that even though Belle accepted EJ as a ruthless schemer, I think for her, trust is everything, and she can't trust him. So that's it for her. Instead of praising him for a genius strategy that could have worked, Belle was flabbergasted when EJ pulled the stunt. When the revelation came out in court that EJ had previously forced himself upon Sammy, resulting in Johnny's birth, everyone thought that was pretty gosh darned low. However, when he persisted in his ruthlessness, despite claiming to have turned over a new leaf, he ultimately alienated himself. He was willing to destroy her career, her reputation, to throw innocent people under the bus, she stated, adding, "I mean, that's as low as you can go." The reason I love this story so much, Madison continued, is because everyone has a very clear point of view, and everyone's interests are kind of intersecting. The goal of almost everyone was to exonerate Johnny, and EJ hoped for a mistrial when he made Johnny reveal his relationship to Belle. Everybody's relationships change through this story, Madison teases, and I think that's why it's so good. But the outlet asked her point blank if there was anything EJ could do to repair their relationship. She gave them a resounding, "I don't think so." This is really too bad, as fans were betting on EJ and Belle for the win. The August 25th episode of Days of Our Lives ended with Kristen weeping in her jail cell. This was after Brady yelled at her, and Rachel sobbed to Marlena about her poor, poor mommy. We were likely supposed to feel sorry for her. But that's kind of hard to do when, whether or not she actually pulled the trigger, everything that happened is still all her fault. Sure, Kristen didn't shoot EJ, Rachel did. And now, brave, noble, Mother of the Year, Kristen is taking the blame to protect her precious, innocent, helpless baby girl. Except that Rachel is far from innocent. This was her second murder attempt. And the reason she felt entitled to do so is because Kristen has been a terrible mother who gave her kid the idea that anything she did was right, and anyone who disagreed was evil. Rachel pulled a gun on EJ because she couldn't think of any reason not to. After all, if Rachel wanted something, Rachel should have it, no matter what it took. EJ gave Kristen an ultimatum. Either figure out how to keep Johnny from being convicted for EJ's shooting, or EJ will identify Rachel as the actual tiny wannabe assassin. So Kristen popped up in court right before the verdict was read and announced that she did it. There. She met EJ's terms. Pin that medal on her right now. All Kristen needed to do was wait until after the verdict was read. Leo told Javi that the jury was about to find Johnny not guilty. So if Kristen had just bided her time, she would have done what EJ demanded, without incriminating herself. And if Johnny had been found guilty, then she could have done her big dramatic reveal. Kristen is usually really smart. We're not sure what went wrong, but since it's all her fault, it's hard to feel moved by the tears that shouldn't have even been necessary. What did you think of Kristen and Brady? How about Marlena and Rachel? Let us know in the comments. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the August 26th, 2025 episode tease the aftermath of Kristen's confession for the Salem PD, with the Salem PD's latest case being Kristen admitting to shooting EJ and saving not only Johnny, but Rachel, Jada, and Paulina have their hands full picking up the pieces of the latest Dimera disaster. Paulina and Jada discuss Kristen's case. Watch this. The Soap Hub says podcast breaks down what's heating up in soaps this summer. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. Belle and Philip haven't spent much time together since Belle started dating EJ and threw herself into prosecuting Johnny. Belle even got her wish, and Johnny won't be going to jail. However, now it's time to focus on anyone who is not a Dimera. Unfortunately for Belle, she still has Dimera-related stuff taking up her mind. To that end, she pays Philip a visit and warns him that he might want to watch out for EJ and his siblings because they are determined to win Dimera Enterprises back from Philip and Xander. Philip knows he has to watch his back because if the Dimeras ever learn he forged that letter from Victor, there would be even more hell to pay than there already is. Philip pretends not to take Belle seriously because he'd rather have some fun and invites Belle to share a meal with him. Will this lead to something more for these two single exes? Stephanie is both thrilled and terrified now that everyone is about to read her book. Even if it doesn't have her name on it, she knows she wrote it, and so do some of the people closest to her. With all the semi-autobiographical scenes in the book, Jada finds herself a bit embarrassed when she sees Alex. That doesn't seem to matter to Alex, who wants Stephanie to produce another book right away. Xander is anxious for the same, so he meets with Stephanie and even offers her some PR work. It's an abundance of riches for Salem's newest author. But she still can't have her family learning what she wrote. After Jada's encounter with Alex, she also meets with Paulina. Is Paulina about to give Jada the news she just got from Abe?